Hello and welcome back to Beemaster 79. Today we are going to master 3 small words that all answer one big question. Why? 2, 4. And so that, by the end of this lesson you will know exactly which one to use, and you will stop making the single most common purpose mistake that English learners make. One quick note before we begin. Every example sentence and any name used in this lesson is invented for teaching purposes. Everything in this lesson answers one question. Why? Imagine somebody asks you, why did you go to the library? You have 3 ways to answer. First, I went to the library to study. That is to plus a verb. Second, I went to the library for a quiet space. That is for plus a noun. Third, I went to the library so that I could concentrate. That is so that plus a whole clause with its own subject and verb. 3 structures. 1 meaning, purpose. Now let us look at each one properly. Rule 1. To plus the base form of the verb. Grammar books call this the infinitive of purpose. The structure is simple. Your main clause, then to, then the base verb. Not the past form, not the ing form, the base form. Listen. I went to the library to study. She woke up early to catch the train. We use flashcards to remember new words. He is saving money to buy a motorbike. Now notice something important. In every one of those sentences, the same person does both actions. She woke up and she catches the train. Same subject. That is the condition for using to. Here is a quick test you can use in a second. Ask why. If the answer is an action, use to plus the base verb. And remember, both halves of the sentence must share the same subject. Here is a bonus. You can move the purpose to the front of the sentence. To improve my English, I watch films in English. That is a very natural way to start a sentence, and it adds variety to your writing. If you want to sound more formal, in order to, and so as to, are the longer versions. We will come back to those. Rule 2. For plus a noun. Useful when the purpose is a thing, rather than an action. I went to the shop for some milk. Milk is a noun. It is a thing. We stopped for lunch. She is traveling to Da Nang for a conference. And of course, thank you for your help. The key point here is beautifully simple. After for, you want a noun. If a noun follows, for is almost always safe. Now, rule 2b, and this is the one that causes confusion. For plus a verb ending in ing. We use this to describe the general function of an object. What is this thing used for? A corkscrew is for opening bottles. This app is for tracking your spending. These scissors are for cutting fabric. Flashcards are for memorizing vocabulary. Now read those again, and notice one thing. The subject is always a thing, never a person. The sentence describes what the object exists to do. That single distinction is about to save you from a very common mistake. So here it is. The single most common purpose mistake. When you are giving your own reason for doing something, you cannot use for plus a verb. Look at the first pair. I came to Australia for improve my English. That is wrong. For is never followed by a bare verb. It must be, I came to Australia to improve my English. Second, I study hard for get a good score. Wrong again. I study hard to get a good score. Third, and this one is more subtle. She went to Hanoi for visiting her aunt. Also wrong. The ing form is for the function of an object, not for a person's reason on one occasion. She went to Hanoi to visit her aunt. And the last one. He called me for asking about the exam. No. He called me to ask about the exam. Please remember this. The pattern for to verb does not exist in English. If you hear yourself starting to say it, stop and use to on its own. Rule 3. So that. This one is the most powerful of the three because it takes a whole clause. The structure is your main clause, then so that, then a subject, then usually a modal verb, and then the main verb. That modal is nearly always can, could, will, or would. Lesson. I left early so that I could catch the train. Speak slowly so that everyone can understand. I gave her my number so that she could call me. We booked early so that we would get a good price. And notice the pattern in the tenses. Present or future in the main clause, use can or will. Past in the main clause, use could or would. So when must you use so that instead of the shorter to? There are 3 situations. First, and most importantly, when the two halves have different subjects. I opened the window so that the room would cool down. I opened it, but the room cools down. 2 different subjects. To is simply impossible here. You cannot say, I opened the window to the room cool down. Second, when you need the meaning of a modal, ability, permission, or a future result. And third, for negative purpose, which we will look at in a moment. One last note, and it is very useful for speaking. In informal English, you can simply drop the word that. I left early so I could catch the train. That is perfectly natural. Let us put all 3 side by side using one situation. She is studying at night. Why? Version 1 with 2. She is studying at night to pass the exam. The purpose is an action, and she does both things, so 2 is perfect. Version 2 with 4. She is studying at night for a better score. Here the purpose is a noun, the thing she wants. Version 3 with so that. She is studying at night so that she can pass the exam. A full clause with a modal, and it sounds a little more formal. All 3 sentences are correct. They are simply 3 different tools, and confident speakers move freely between them. Now let us raise the register. In order to and so as to. Both mean exactly the same thing as to, but they are more formal, and they are very useful in academic writing. For example, governments should invest in rail in order to reduce congestion, or the company cut prices so as to attract new customers. You can also put in order to at the front. In order to succeed, students need consistent daily practice. But one word of caution. These are formal structures. In a written essay they look excellent. In a casual conversation with a friend, they can sound stiff. Match the structure to the situation. What about negative purpose? That is when you say why you avoided something. This is where learners often get stuck because you cannot simply put not after to. The correct forms are so as not to, and in order not to. He whispered so as not to wake the baby. She left early in order not to miss her flight. And you can express exactly the same idea using so that with won't or wouldn't. She left early so that she wouldn't miss her flight. Now pay very close attention to the word order. Not comes before to, so as not to, in order not to. Never so as to not. Let us round up the mistakes. Number 1. I came here for improve my English, for is never followed by a bare verb. I came here to improve my English. Number 2. I called him so that tell him the news. After so that, you need a subject and a modal. I called him so that I could tell him the news. Number 3. He ran fast so as to not be late. The word order is wrong. He ran fast so as not to be late. And number 4. I opened the window to the room cool down. The subjects are different, so to cannot work. I opened the window so that the room would cool down. Read those 4 right-hand versions once more out loud. Time to practice. I will read 6 sentences, each with a gap. Pause the video, write your answers down, and then play again to check. Number 1. I am saving money, blank, a new laptop. Number 2. She stayed up late, blank, finish her essay. Number 3. Turn on the light, blank, we can see the board. Number 4. This room is blank, meetings only. Number 5. He spoke quietly, blank, not to disturb anyone. And number 6. I take notes, blank, remember new vocabulary. Pause the video now and take your time. Here are the first 3 answers. Number 1. I am saving money for a new laptop. A laptop is a noun. It is the thing you want, so 4 is correct. Number 2. She stayed up late to finish her essay. The purpose is an action, and she does both things, so we use to plus the base verb. Number 3. Turn on the lights so that we can see the board. Here the subject changes, and we need the modal can, so only so that will work. And the last 3. Number 4. This room is for meetings only. Meetings is a noun, so we use for. Number 5. He spoke quietly so as not to disturb anyone. This is negative purpose, so the answer is so as, and remember, not comes before to. And number 6. I take notes to remember new vocabulary. An action with the same subject, so it is to plus the base verb. How many did you get right? Tell me in the comments. A few notes now specifically for IELTS. In writing task 2, in order to, and so as to, will lift your register, but use them sparingly. 2 or 3 across a whole essay is plenty. In speaking part 2, so that I could, is one of the easiest ways to produce a genuine complex sentence under pressure. For example, I saved for 6 months so that I could buy the ticket. Whatever you do, vary your structures. 5 sentences in a row, all beginning with to sounds mechanical, and an examiner will notice. And the most important point of all, accuracy beats decoration. A correct simple to is worth far more than a broken attempt at something fancy. This guidance is based on the publicly published band descriptors. It is not an official examiner assessment. Let us finish with the whole lesson in 4 lines. 2 plus a verb. My reason for doing something. 4 plus a noun. The thing I want. 4 plus a verb ending in ing. What an object is used for. And so that plus a clause for when the subject changes or when you need a modal. That is it. Now here is your homework. Write 1 sentence using each of those 4 structures and put them in the comments. I will read them. And remember, every example in this lesson was invented for teaching. If this helped you, please subscribe to BMaster79 for more grammar and IELTS lessons. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.